I'm TheCommissar. We're watching Forged Alliance Forever, and you need answers to the important questions, like, is it better to go for long-range strategic barrages, or do you just want units in the enemy base? Today, our two teams go for different strategies. Which will come out on top? Many of my regular viewers will know how unoriginal I am in this regard, so this is going to be North Team and this is going to be South Team. On the right hand end for North Team, we have Akamel 2, who is 1080 rated, he's Eon, and he's in Burgundy. To his left, another Eon is StefanFos. We're going to call him Stefan today. He's 1063 rated, and he's in Fecal Brown. He's also Eon. A third Eon to their left is Tabernaple, who is 1791 rated in yellow. In their forward position, we have Raider, who's 1803 rated, and Seraphim, he's in orange. In their rearguard air position, we have Velaone, or Vela, I'm going to call him Vela today. He is 1503 rated, he's Seraphim in baby pink. And the game's highest rated player is on North Team's left flank. This is Yojih, 2070 rated, and yet another Eon in grey. So this team is 4 Eons and 2 Seraphim, all of them filthy aliens or alien worshippers. And that's all random apart from Akamel, who picked it. And their mirrors on the South Team. This is Taoist, whom we saw in the cheeky midweek cast. He's 1343 rated. And he's UEF, he is in dark green. To his left, we have Clinch. Clinch is 1267 rated and Cybran, he's playing in cyan. Opening first air, which is quite interesting, and already going for early shenanigans here. That's a bomber in the queue, and you can see him walking forward in the distance there. This is, what's his name? Terminus 619. Terminus 619 is 1499 rated and Cybran in mucus brown. In the forward position, and unsurprisingly already very far forward, just visible in the distance, this is Psycho Ad. He is 1746 rated in UEF in electric pink. In their air position, another repeat appearance from our midweek game. This is John Doe. He's 1476 rated and Eon in blue. And last but not least, this is Citrus 984. He's 1781 rated and Cybran, and he's playing in red. And he's out very early with drops both here and here with engineers, whereas his mirror, Yojih, is only just loading up the transport, so good work from Citrus there. But we have to look in here, where I think that we're going to get a beautiful pickup as Terminus Bomber heads for Tabernaple's base. They see it coming, they go for an anti-air turret, but boom, what a hit. That's 4 NG kills in one pass, and it comes back. The anti-air turret's going to go up though, but the bomber is wisely moving away and might try and pick up. No, it's coming back for another pass, but there's an interceptor out from Tabernaple, and the bomber is... oh, this could be horrible. Is Stefan about to also lose 4 NGs? Boom, yes he is. That is 8 NGs killed by that bomber, so definitely a worthwhile early investment. And is this a cheeky ghetto gunship from Yojih I see coming in for Citrus expansion? If you can kill some of these NGs, that would be very nice, but it won't deny the expansion as Citrus is already well set up. But he's going for the NGs. He's not landing because he can see the Mantis, but he can pick off a good number of NGs before any anti-air comes out from Citrus. However, in come interceptors, and I think only 1 NG might be going... no, 2 NGs. Might be going down there, and when the interceptors come in, he drops and gets the other NGs. Great from Yojih there. good reclaim pickup in the mid from Psycho. We didn't really talk about the reclaim on this map. We didn't really talk about the map. There's heaps of reclaim here in the middle, and you can see the comms all going for it. This area is still roughly unclaimed, but Tabernapple's gone for this one. Psycho's managed to get to this one before Raider did. As for the rest of the map, we have a causeway across here, which will be a fight between these two relatively high-rated players as ratings in the game go. Then we've got this valley where the air players Yojih and Citrus are going to fight it out, and then everybody else just has an open shenanigan over here. However, as well as his role as air player, John has not only come forward to set up this expansion here, he's actually queued up a naval yard, which might be quite good. And there's a little clutch of reclaim here, which he's working on picking up, as Vela does the same thing on his side. Tabernaple trying to repay the bomber favour on Terminus, but he's seen a better target. He's seen this clutch of forward NGs. Ouch, that's 5 down for Clinch as Tabernapple's bomber gets the dirty work done. Nice play. And it might get more done, as I don't think it's been reacted to yet by the southern team. Vela advancing straight across the pond. He might deny this if he could just get a reclaim off, though it will finish. That bomber's landed content with its work. It's done its work. It's just going to sit down for the rest of the game. Clinch and Akamel tough it out while Taoist has remained in his base. Looks like he's going for quite fast tech. He's already on T2 air there. As are our air players, unsurprisingly. But Akamel has come forward to take this fight with Clinch, which means that Stefan, who's working on the gun, could come forward and do some damage while Clinch is engaged over here. We'll have to see how that turns out. And Vela is indeed, he's just straight up reclaiming that naval yard from John. And he's going to manage it before anything gets out of it. Nice work from Vela, and John has no answer. And we've also got a cheeky little Zooey following it up from Raider. Raider, meanwhile, is engaging Psycho in the middle. Psycho's getting gunned, but if Raider comes any further forward, especially with these arties, Psycho may be forced to cancel. These turrets won't defend against artillery. Terminus comes forward, but Tabernaple is trying to get in here and steal this relatively unclaimed patch of reclaim. In fact, I see he's got a drop queued up to come in there, or somebody has. Look at that, there's an unload order there. Ah, it's coming from Akamel. A nice aggression trying to steal the enemy's reclaim from Akamel. Akamel's injured, and Clinch is going for guns, so Akamel might be in danger if he can't push, and he won't be able to push unupgraded because there's this turret here. I don't think Rage is going to be able to force the cancer. He's also injured, so Psycho has a chance to push forward and get damage done on Raider here. But Terminus is under real pressure from Tabernaple. He's falling back as Tabernaple comes in, and Terminus is in the red. He might just die here. Are we going to see a very early ejection? Psycho's going in against the Raider, and Rage is naked, but Rage has got a lot of spam. Terminus is falling back, and it looks like Tabernaple is a bit worried about all this. He's not going to take Terminus's life just yet. I don't know if he could have, but that was a close shave for Terminus. Meanwhile, however, Psycho continues to push forward, and sure, Rage is naked, but he has got a lot of spam to back him up, and I'm not sure that I like Psycho's chances just going in against all of this absolutely alone. He opens fire. Raider starts on the T2 upgrade, but I think he'll cancel now. Or will he just let his spam come in and do the deed? And Psycho seems to be focusing Raider a bit hard, and therefore he's not focusing all the spam that's swarming him down. He should focus this spam first, because that spam deals more damage per hit point than Raider does, especially as Raider's naked. And this might be too much for Psycho. Psycho is under real pressure here. He's into the red. And even with gun, this might just be enough to do the deed. 1,000 hit points left and falling. He's been getting overcharged off, but it's not enough. Psycho explodes. Boom. He is our first ejection at under 10 minutes. So, good work from Radar. Meanwhile, though, Tabernaple and Stefan are just setting up on this expansion really quite close to South Team's base, the expansion that they forced Terminus off, and that's just 4 mixes that they've got there. Also, this is nice work. You can see that Akamel has eaten quite a lot. He's using patrol orders, which I don't super like, and it's not necessarily prioritizing in the right order. Some of these he should have manually reclaimed before the order starts, but he's getting the reclaim, which is good work. And if we compare reclaim totals, let's see how we're doing. The South Team are in fact ahead, but Akamel is not sacking. Stefan's also done well for the North Team. This is a dangerous position for Clinch to be upgrading with this entire force here. And Tabernacle getting sensors. Stefan here has gun. Clinch could be in danger. They might, if they could notice, they might be able to push him back. And we've got bombers coming in from Tabernacle. Where are they headed? Meanwhile, quick check over here. Yojih and Citrus massing up. John has put up his naval yard again and is sending hover spam across to try and stop Vela, but Vela has this turret here. And they're trying to force the cancel on Clinch. Ooh, that was nice. They're trying to force the cancel on Clinch with bombers and using the spread fire or the Mantis assisting Clinch taken out. However, I think Clinch is close enough to finishing it that he's going to get it. And he does. He immediately starts stealth, but that may be unwise. And yeah, he cancels it and he falls back. He's going to need to bring some anti-air in. These guys could put up a flak to which he could fall back, but he's also trying to use intis of his own to defend. Speaking of air, let's have a quick air check. John is just finishing his T3P gen. Vela already has, so Vela's slightly faster to air, but that could be because John spent time putting up this expansion, which he has, and Radar has their equivalent of this expansion. Vela hasn't, so John might have a little more eco going forward than Vela, though Vela is slightly faster to air. Radar has finished his T2 and is now PD creeping this base, which Terminus has inherited from Psycho. I think Citrus would probably have inherited. I can't remember the exact ratings and then given it to Terminus, but yeah, look, he's got this mix now, which he must have not quite given over. Range and extra range, but watch this. Taoist has gone T3 air and has snuck out a broadsword to come and try and snipe Tabernacle. That is something I don't think the North team were expecting, and John's got a little bit of ASF here to support. Obviously Vela is countering, but there's now a second broadsword in the mix, and Tabernacle is really shedding health here. Could this be a cheeky broadsword snipe? One of the broadswords is going down, but Tabernaple's in the red and the other broadsword is still in the green, and John is defending it with his inties. Lots and lots of T1 anti-air going up. Tabernacle tries to retreat, but it's too late. Boom! Tabernacle is sniped by this surprise T3 air rush from Taoist. Now, the fact that Taoist hasn't come forward means that all of this area, all of it, is in the hands of Akamel. But with Tabernacle taken out, that could be pretty powerful for South Team, and Yojih unsurprisingly gives what he inherits over to Radar as Yojih is busy managing over on this side. Cheeky drop, he's trying to land some units in here. What's he got on board? Blazes. We'll see whether they manage to achieve anything. Only 2 blazes, probably not going to achieve much at this stage, but they might. We'll have to see. Terminus, meanwhile, moves in to retake his expansion after the comm bomb from Tabernacle killed so much, and I think he's going to be successful. His comm is still naked and so not supporting at this stage of the game, but there's a decent T2 shielded force here with T1 spam backing it up. And Taoist is not above trying another snipe. Yes, he is. He's backing off. There isn't actually much anti-air here. He could probably have done some damage to Stefan, but he's fallen back there. Maybe he doesn't want Yojih to inherit, and instead he's going for Raider, but Raider has multiple T2 flak tanks and is under a shield, and I don't know if one broadsword is going to be enough. However, John brings in his ASF to support, and he might be able to take a little air win here off Vela. I think he's going to. Meanwhile, those cheeky blazes have actually landed, and they're going to get some damage on John. This T2 mix is liable to go down if they stop. I don't think they're going to stop. I think they... Oh, yes, they are. Good. They're going to try and take out this T2 mix. And what does... John's going for a restorer as an answer, which will certainly do the job, but will it do it in time as a restorer is being built? Heavy shield going for Akamo, who I think is worried about a snipe as Clinch advances. How about the... Yeah, actually, Taoist's broadsword has come to save the day here, but it has taken out one of John's mixes. That naval yard is out again for John, thanks to this raid from Yojih, which has just come across the water and eaten it. Good work from Yojih. But I don't think he'll get much damage in Citrus' base, as Citrus has now got T3 land on the field and is putting bricks out towards Yojih's force. Terminus here, trying to drive Raider back. But Raider's got gun, nano and T2, and so he is going to be pretty hard to stop. However, there are 2 T2 point defenses here for the force to fall back to. And there's also a strat out from Terminus, so that's now 3 players on South Team who have T3 air, compared to, I think... Oh no, Stefan's now got it for North Team, so 2 players on North Team. Clinch engages Akamo, and Akamo with gun, advanced range and double shield is looking pretty hefty. However, he's not actually engaging with his comm, which might make the difference against Clinch, who has gun and nano and can easily mash all this spam. And John goes for a restorer snipe on Yojih. Dude, why no AA? Asks Tabernapple, and this could actually be the death knell for Yojih. Vela tries to respond, but Yojih has a lot of anti-air defense, and restorers are pretty good when it comes to anti-air in and of themselves. However, one of these is down. A lot of T1 anti-air for Yojih, trying to shoot the restorer. He might get out here. He's falling back to anti-air towers his engineers are putting up. He's building more anti-air. But Corsairs and T1 bombers come in from Citrus to help out. And Yojih could still be in trouble. There just isn't enough air defense, especially with this screening from John, to take out all of it. And Yojih's into the red. Anti-control K is trying to destroy all the air around him, knowing he's not going to survive. Boom! Yojih is North Team's highest rated player, and that's going to be a real problem for North Team. Raider inherits. He'll probably give it to Vela. We'll check back on that. Yeah, he gives it to Vela. Meanwhile, Citrus's comm is messing around cleaning up this expansion from Raider here, which doesn't really have anything that it can do about a gun comm sneaking in. However, he's only got gun. There is potential for damage to be done back here. And although there's a heavy defense against land units here from Akamo, it's got nothing to stop that broadsword which Taoist has sent out. So Taoist doubling down on the broadsword play from earlier. In fact, there's now 4 here, and that could get some real damage done. Clinch is also walking back in on Akamo, and now he's supported by T3. This looks like it might be a snipe. Are we going to see the snipe? I think we might. But Akamo has a lot of flak here, and he's also got the heavy shield. Is it enough to make Taoist think twice? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. However, Clinch is coming in and cleaning up the flak with his comm. Good progress here from Citrus now that Yojih's comm is no longer here. He's managed to deny a couple of mechs, and there's not much in the way. There is T3 production though, so he'll have to capitalise on that advantage fast. Taoist's broadsword is just cleaning up this front line now. Nothing Akamo can do to stop that. He'll have to fall back and he'll lose this hard-won expansion to the South Team, this whole plateau. Oh, and I was about to look over there, but I think Taoist has thought twice and thinks he's got enough. He's backed up by lower tech units from Citrus, but despite the flak, the 4 broadswords are going for the snipe, and they're going to get it. Kaboom! That's yet another air snipe for South Team, and that is Akamel taken out. So now we have 3 versus 5, and the 5 is in favour of the South Team. And where are these gunships going to go on? There's a lot of T3 production here, which was nice, but that's going to easily die to the remaining broadswords. Now Vela is answering this with a big wave of Spectres out from the air factory that he inherited from Yojih. It's T3, but he's still going for the T2 gunships, and they are hitting these bricks pretty hard. Will it be enough to save this expansion though? I don't know. They've got a lot of brick to work through. I think it might. Meanwhile, Terminus has a strat out to counter the gunships, but Vela's air is over here, taking out the broadswords from Taoist, and it might catch a strat too if they're lucky. However, Terminus has also brought T3 AA to the field, and that will help. John is going to engage the Spectres over here, as is Terminus, while we saw Vela's air on the other side, and that cleans them up. And it hasn't been enough for Vela to save this base. He has lost his T3 production down here. He's got the T3 HQ here from Yojih that he inherited, but losing this production and these mexes is going to hurt. South Team is ahead by about 150 eco at this stage. Clinch raiding into the base that Raider inherited from Akamel over here. And he's got T3, but there's T3 and it's bricks. Bricks beat Harbies, but with these shields, with these point defenses, it might be enough for Raider to hold. Meanwhile, we have another foray out for the Spectres here. A new wave has been built and it's out. And it will clean up the bricks, but again, there's Inti's ASFs here from... but this time Vela responds with his ASFs and is able to defend his Spectres. They might get more work done down here. And these bricks have managed to do some damage, but strats from Stefan are the answer to these bricks. However, they've taken out some shields here. They're not going to get much eco damage done, I think, and I think these strats clean it up before the... yes, they do. Taoist, meanwhile, has changed his focus, and this here, I see, is a nuke launcher. So, we have some cheeky strategic missile play going on for the South Team, and I don't think I've seen missile defense for the North Team yet. They do not know it's coming. Looks like Clinch is again going to try and get some work done with bricks on this base. But there's still T3 production here, there's still T2 point defenses here, and I think Raider will probably have enough by the time that it's going to get in. Quick check, I'm not seeing any anti-nukes here. John's still doing some cheeky raids over here, but Citrus is in the water amassing bricks as well. That could be a threat to Vela, who I don't think has enough here to stop a big horde of bricks coming out. His gunships are just, you know, chilling up here on the plateau. And yes, Clinch has gone in again over here with his bricks, but the Harbies are out in force, the point defenses are out in force, so these bricks are not going to survive to get real damage done on this base. Again, John is going for the Spectres. The Spectres are trying to kill this brick, and John is going to take the fight, and he will get the Spectres. But Vela is this time going to take the air fight, and I think Vela might have more. Will this be an air win for North Team, which I think they desperately need? Absolutely it will. Look at that. John's Air Force is getting absolutely ripped apart by Vela's. But we mustn't forget that Terminus also has an Air Force down here, and Stefan's only really been focusing on strats from his T3 Air. He hasn't been doing anything in the way of air-to-air forces. However, we have a GC almost finished here from Vela. And we have a chicken almost finished here from Raider, and those could really do some damage if they start smashing in. There's that chicken up and running, or at least sort of waddling forward, however you think a chicken walks, and his GC finishes only a moment later. I do not think that Terminus has enough to stop the chicken if it just comes straight on down here. Clinch going for a little run by with these bricks in mid, and I think he's going to try and get them through here from their position, and that could actually get some work done. Because most of this, unsurprisingly, is point defense or air defense. There's nothing that can actually run out and hit these bricks if they just walk by here. There are now sniper bots being produced. These have now been noticed, but one sniper bot is not going to stop all of this. And despite his upgrades, Stefan is routed to the spot as he's getting a shield. And this T1 army is going to have nothing to stop the bricks that Stefan is bringing forward. XP's advancing, and Raider has already nearly finished another. His first one's up here. We'll look at it in a minute. But Stefan has strats. There is anti-air in this mix, but strats might be the answer that... And the anti-air is out. So the strats come retargeting over here. Can these get anything done before Stefan's strats finish them off? They're not really going anywhere super important right now, so I don't think that they're actually going to get any work done. Lots of spearhead fire, but that's not really going to defend against the chicken. The first nuke is out from Taoist, and where's it heading? It's heading straight for the air grid of Vela. Perfect choice. However, we have to look at this chicken as it walks into the relatively undefended base of Terminus. I mean, what can he do to stop this? Is this just going to come through and smash his entire everything? It might. T1 bombers coming in and Corsairs from Citrus, but this chicken has a lot of support coming up. There's Flak in there, there's T3AA in there, and this chicken is not taking the damage. What? And we see on the inset there the explosion as the nuke detonates Vela's air grid. That's going to be horrific for North team, but they might be able to get enough counter damage as this boy comes charging in here. John is desperately throwing up point defense. John doesn't really have much of an air grid at this stage, to be fair, and Terminus has almost as much, but what air grid John has, he might well be about to lose as this chicken goes for it. Actually, it doesn't. It's going for the air grid of Terminus, but Terminus has finished a monkey to come and defend the chicken in the nick of time. However, what's this up there? This is a big force, and Vela might actually be under threat. He might just die to this. Meanwhile, though, in comes the chicken. Chicken beats monkey one-on-one, but it's already damaged, and the monkey is not. And the chicken doesn't care for the monkey. The chicken is just going to get the damage it can done to the air grid. And boom, down it goes. The HQ is still up, though. And good choice. It's not caring about the monkey. The chicken is just but it now has to defend itself, and down it goes. Meanwhile, Stefan sends his strats, and they defend Vela. Nice work from the North team in just not dying there. Quick check over here next to the pond where John has lost his expansion to this GC from Vela, but what John is going to be more worried about is that he has lost his base. While that chicken went right from Raider, his Ophiums went left, and they have just wiped out John's air grid too, so now neither side has an air grid apart from maybe Taoist. And this army is going on into the base of Citrus. And while all that was going on, we just saw a nuke, and we'll see where it lands in a minute, but that is 4 nuke launchers firing all at once, or rather building all at once. But look at everything that Citrus is going to lose. Looks like Taoist has gone for Stefan's base with the nuke, and we'll watch it on the quick inset. But this is where we have to focus, as look at all the damage that Citrus is taking. Boom, there goes Stefan's base. And that's got to hurt him, but this has got to hurt Citrus. And somehow, as Citrus loses his base there, Rage has got another chicken in partial defences. This monkey's come forward, but this chicken has just snuck by and is getting into the back lines for Clinch. However, Clinch has another monkey coming forward, and again, chicken beats monkey, but the chicken is damaged. Will it just go for the fight, or will it try and do some actual damage and sacrifice itself in the process? On the left, the GC from Vela has made it to Citrus expansion, but there are 2 monkeys from Citrus sandwiching it. On the right, the monkey just about takes out the GC, but we have to look over here as Stefan is going for a strat snipe on the nuke grid. The GC is down, and the strats drop their first wave of bombs. It's enough to take out 1 shield, but will there be enough defense? And where's the anti-air defense? Is that a 5th nuke that he's working on? I think it might be. In they come. But this shield is newly built just as they come over, and there's the air defense from Terminus, which is just in time, and the nuke grid is saved. That was close. That could have been a real game changer if this huge investment in nukes went down. And as we speak, this nuke launches. Where is it going? I think it's going for Stefan's forward base. Yeah, it is. And that is probably going to be very painful indeed. Meanwhile, another chicken, that could be a big threat to Terminus, and we'll check it in a moment. But here, look at this. Poor old Stefan. That was his forward base. His main base was nuked, now his forward base was nuked. And Raider is holding position as one, and yet another nuke goes off. But the chicken opens fire, and what has Terminus got to do in the face of this chicken? He should probably try and get out of there if he wants to live. Ah, he doesn't want to live. As the next nuke is heading back towards... there is a nuke defense, but it's not loaded yet. This is going out, and another painful hit for North Team. Ow! Down it goes. However, over here, Vela has not been idle with these Spectres. And he's taking out these mexes in Citrus expansion. He's still got a decent air force. And he's doing the work, but this is a line of SAMs going up to stop it. And Raider's chicken continues its advance into the wreckage of the bases that it last left. This one could get across here and hit Clinch pretty hard. However, Clinch is going for XP attacks of his own with a Mega and Monkey double monkey attack. We have a GC from Stefan coming in, but in the face of 2 monkeys in the Mega, that's not going to last long. And Tower sends a strategic bomber for good measure. The GC tries to flee, but what was the point in trying to flee? It is down and out. As the next nuke flies, the barrage is unceasing. Okay, make that 2. Make that 2. But these XPs will have to watch out. Is that Raider's forward base that we're going to see taken out? As there are these multiple chickens coming from behind from Raider. No, oh, this one's going to get shot down. This one, however, is not. It's going for Raider's main base. And I suspect that we're about to see the bulk of Raider's eco just being smashed here. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. But this chicken has now made it into Clinch's base. And sure, there's a monkey here, there's a lot of bricks here, but Clinch is losing eco. And the monkey is already damaged. It's about to open fire, but I think that this will be enough, and that this force will just be able to head straight on. Down it goes. The bricks are still here, but will this be enough? I really don't know. Clinch's XP trio is heading north, and North Team have to worry about this, but they're just doing so much damage down here. And this chicken is going to head on and try and hit the nukes rather than try and engage this monkey. It can probably just weather these bricks. And I do apologise for all the split screening, but what am I meant to do? And we've got two monkeys coming up here into Vela's base, and the one he inherited from Yojih. These two chickens coming in from the north to get Clinch's base, and this chicken heading across here, and Taoist might be in trouble. A monkey comes to defend against these two chickens, but one monkey against two chickens, I know where my money is on that one. And over here, this chicken is going to open up on the nuke grid. 5 nukes. If they all go down, that's going to be horrible. The monkeys coming in to Vela's base, and Vela is really in trouble here. One chicken down there to the monkey, but another still goes. Taoist walks forward and tries to shoot the chicken. The chicken is going down, but the nuke grid, the power grid, everything for Taoist. His air HQ goes up, and Taoist is suddenly all here, all on his own, and that's painful. These two chickens are making a mess of Clinch's base, and these two monkeys are making a mess of Vela's base. But as if that weren't enough, over here we've got to watch as these XPs come into Raiders' base, run over it and hit Vela's base from the other side as the Yojih's old base is taken out by these monkeys. What utter madness is this? And down here there's still a chicken coming for Taoist. Taoist really has to worry about that. I think that chicken is trying to come and kill him. Is it going to catch him? We ought to watch. Well, maybe it's not, because there's a T2 transport coming to pick him up. He's up. He's going to escape the chickens. That is wild, as the base Vela inherited from Yojih is utterly wrecked. That was madness. Well, this could be a problem for Vela. He's trying to get the monkey, but the monkey can just shoot him. Boom, Vela's dead. And Citrus Army is walking into the base that Rage is about to inherit. Now Rage's comm is right back here, and he could really be in danger. Line of energy storage, maybe he was going to go for something teleport related, but that's not going to survive. Energy storage is volatile. Hit one of these and there's going to be a boom. And they've noticed Rage's comm is up here. There is still a chicken down here, and that's going to do well, that was going to do some work, but it didn't notice the monkey. It could probably have taken out the monkey if it turned to engage it, but it didn't. Meanwhile, back up here, oops, let's get rid of that. Raider is picking himself up by transport, and he is flying out, so he's not going to die to this. And somehow, the ecos are still about level. Somehow. I don't know how, but they are. Like, this is their entire base for North Team, and Taoist has dropped himself in Yojih's old base to try and set up a new shop there. That's fantastic, and I love it. The trio of XPs is still alive from Clinch though, and this GC from Stefan is not going to finish. Stefan is about to lose everything. And here it comes. Stefan is trying to defend with point defense, he's trying to defend with Harvey, he's got a big bank of point defense here, but against 3 XPs, this tiny little force is not going to be anywhere near enough. Where's Raider going? We'll have to check on him in a moment. You can see him on the mini-map there. But yeah, they're just not enough here. But there's still chicken. This beetle might change back. There's still a chicken here, And the chicken here from Raider. Somehow, will this chicken be enough to deny the beetle? It will not. The beetle launches and that beetle might be enough because the beetle could just take out the chicken with no problem. Can it take out both chickens though before they get the damage done? In the north, the last bastion of Raider does have a GC in it from Raider actually, because he inherited this Eon base. But even with this bank of point defense, it's not going to be enough. Here, the chicken has 5 vets for sure, but it's under fire from point defense, it's under fire from a soul ripper, it's losing health fast. This chicken's coming in though. This one will be down in a matter of seconds. Up here, the GC that Raider desperately put up in defense 4s, and his last base is wiped out. Raider's hiding in the water here. The Soul Ripper has killed the first chicken, and the second chicken, it might make it into John's new air grid, but there's a Soul Ripper on the way. And there's a little bit of air defense, but not enough to take out a Soul Ripper. Stefan, we can see on the minimap, also transporting into that side pond. All the batteries that open up of point defense on this chicken. I mean, John Doe's lost his air grid, he's lost all his eco yet again. But the chicken is going to die to the Soul Ripper in the point defense, and John, I think, will be able to escape. Yeah, the chicken's deep in the red. And come on, down it goes. Over here, we actually had some attempts at torpedoes to drive Clinch out of the water from Stefan, which would have been quite funny. Don't know who would have won in a head-to-head fight there, but I don't think it matters. I think when we look at the map as Citrus XP, GG says Raider, Citrus XP's come down here, Taoist swarms across the top of the map, and Raider resigns. I don't think Stefan's going to stay in the game on his own. And his team has only 4 eco. Stefan resigns. That was an insane game. Guile, says Raider. No, you don't get Guile. Well, you might, but you don't get Guile now. You get the Commissar. And that's even better, am I right, my loyal viewers? Just 2 more strats from Stefan, and I think that game would have gone entirely differently. After the nukes started landing, though, did North Team have a chance to come back? Tell me in the comments below. While you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and obey. I'm the Commissar. I will see you next time.